Hey, 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 what's up, y'all? It's your girl Leah M40. Listen, if you are tuning in right now, whether this is on the Hey Queen Thrive podcast or on the Save Me YouTube channel, y'all are in for a treat because your girl is doing a special series called Meet the Women Behind the Courage Couture Gala. And I'm so excited to bring to y'all every last one of the incredible women who have been helping me bring this vision to life. And so today I'm introducing you to my sis, my girl, Alexis Cook. Hey, girl. Hey. I'm so excited that you're here. Okay, so you got to first tell the people a little bit about yourself.
I just let me see what I want you all to know. Well, my favorite color is red. I always start out with that because that's just how I roll. But I am an entrepreneur, been in business for about 21 years. We just launched a new business. I merged with the company. We started a new business called Alexis Wyndham Group. We actually provide administrative support services and event management services for nonprofits, federal agencies, government agencies, and other small businesses. So that's what we do day to day. I love to swim. I love to read. I am in love with music, all kinds of music, from Cyndi
Yeah.
Lauper to Bon Jovi to Soul to Soul, just anything and everything that sounds good. But I am also a sexual assault survivor, which is why I am here, my girl Leah, who has been very supportive for me to start sharing my story. So thank you, girl.
I'm so excited that you are here. So, listen, we're going to talk about this gala because it
Yes.
is my very first event. This is probably a millionth event for you because you do this on a regular. And so I wanted to like really introduce the people that are going to be coming to all the incredible women that have been behind the scenes making this happen. So my first question for you is
Yes.
what is it about this gala and the mission that made you say yes to partnering with me?
Whoa, okay. So I have been thinking for years about how to tell my story. I was in counseling for a very long time. And when you brought it up, well, first of all, it was you. So that was like, that's a no-brainer. How can I help? But as after the first meeting and then hearing other people having the openness to be able to share that they were survivors,
Yeah.
and also working with you on another sexual assault prevention conference as well, like this could be really, really good. Like I want to not only just support it, I want to raise money for it. I want to, make it fantabulous so that everyone we just bring light to this matter
Yeah.
because that's very important. So yes, I plan galas, but this one is more connects with me and who
Yeah.
I am and what I have gone through and then how I have survived. So yes, yes, ma'am.
Yeah, no, I love that. And, I think that's the beautiful thing about doing these types of events. And I always tell people like when one survivor speaks up and identifies themselves, it gives others permission to do the same. So, like when we had that kickoff meeting and so many people were like, yeah, I'm a survivor. I'm a survivor. It's like you give each other permission to be safe enough to say it happened to me too. So, I love that. So, your role is the event planner. I might be the visionary, but it is you that is helping bring this whole vision to life. So
Um,
for this event, talk to us about what does this feel like for you to bring, like what are you hoping that the guests that come really feel as they come through the doors of this event?
Oh, wow. One thing I definitely hope the guests feel like they're being supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely every event has its own kind of feel and touch, and the client usually wants some particular outcome. But now that this is, about my community, I should say,
Yeah.
I would say, is that I want everyone to come to feel like they're being supportive.
Yeah.
They should be walking through the door and be excited and be joyous that they are there. I want them to come with, actually, I really want them to leave with ready to take action. That's really
Yeah.
what's important. It's great that you're going to come, you're going to buy tickets, you're going to eat, you're going to hear stories, you're going to be entertained, you might get your boogie on. But really, if you leave there and don't want to take action, then I kind of feel like, hey, we haven't done enough. So we want to make sure that people come in be ready to get on fire. So let's set them on fire. Let's ignite them.
Yeah.
Especially since the event is in October and, Sexual Awareness Assault Month actually ends on this day. I don't
Yeah.
want people to feel like they have to wait till April. Like, no, this is a everyday fight. So they should be ready to walk out of there like, hey, I'm about to join, or I'm about to volunteer, or I'm about
Yeah.
to drop something in somebody's pockets. And especially grassroots organizations. I really am trying to get my friends to donate on a grassroots level. Because yes, there
Yeah.
are national organizations that focus on this, but I'm definitely more of I want to touch, you
Hmm.
know, I can't touch people at the national, sexual resource
Yeah.
center, but I can touch people that's in your organization. I
Yeah.
can touch people that are, at MCASA. Like these are things that I can touch. So that's one of the things that is my biggest prayer. And that's what I'm praying for, that people walk out of there ready to take some sort of action. And there's a lot of
Yes.
3 things that you can do. Great. Donate, volunteer, be informed. Oh, and be a bystander intervention person. Like
Yeah.
you should check in with the young girls that are in your life, your nieces, your great nieces. I don't care if it's at church, I don't
Hmm.
care if it's on the street. You should check in with them because I have some younger great nieces, and believe you me, check in.
Yeah, no, you're so right when we talk about action. And I love that you said that yes, it's happening in October, but this is 24/7. I tell people all the time, like, you don't have to be this big name person. You don't have to have a huge following on social media to literally get out there and advocate and be an activist for a cause that is near and dear to your heart. Like, you can be a regular person like us that's just passionate about something, and it's like, hey, how can I really help? And I love that you mentioned grassroots organizations, because people be so quick to want to donate to like RAIN and all these national organizations, and no shade to them, but there's so many of us like Save Me and so many other organizations that are just trying to get their foot in the door, that's really just like,
Mhm.
hey, I'm doing this because I'm a survivor and I'm creating safe spaces for survivors. So yeah, I tell people all the time, like, put your money where your mouth is. Like, stop saying that you support survivors, but then when it's time to really show up and support survivors, you're not there. So I love that. So I got another question for you. So when we think about the planning process, what has
Mm.
been like some of the most meaningful moments? Because we act up behind the scenes. People will never see, but we cut up in our meetings a lot. But what has it been like for you? What has been the most meaningful moments that we have had going through this planning process?
Oh man. Let me just first of all, let me say this is the easiest gala I have ever planned. I have never worked with so many competent technical people.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. It's there's like you don't have to worry about it. They know how to use Trello or Gmail. A lot of people think that, oh, it's time to plan an event. No, that's not how that works. So we learned that, I definitely learned that through my experience. But this group is so great. The greatest thing I would say is Leah's Monday motivation emails.
Yeah.
I can't even, I have got to figure out how to incorporate that. Like into all Mary and I got to sit down and figure out how we're going to send these motivational emails to our clients every week without a doubt. That right there touches me because even if I don't read it until Wednesday, it's still like, oh my gosh, it's like it's this bit of information, and it's better than trying to meet with somebody every week. People want to have, oh, no, you don't. You
Yeah.
not to you really don't. You can have bi-weekly meetings are so much more, and especially when you have something like that. But I love Trello. I think that Trello has been really good. That has made my life easier. All I got to do is go and look at the card, and everything has already been separated there. So that's been a plus. And there are other, planning platforms. You can use Microsoft Planner. You can use anything in the Google Workspace to be able to do that. But I love that everyone that's on a committee is committed. And
Yeah.
as with all committees, just want to share this with people. When you start out, no matter what you start out with, you're going to have people drop off,
Yep.
and it's okay.
Yeah.
So if you are looking to plan an event, you know, don't I always want to do all the time. First of all, don't focus on the committee piece because a lot of times, like with anything, it's going to always be 10% of people that's going to do 80% of the work.
Yeah.
It's just the way life is. It doesn't work anyway. But I will say that what Leah did was she assigned categories for everybody off the top. Because if you give someone their task off the top, they're really more apt to be
Yeah.
like, oh, you know, or there's some like for myself, I think it was one point where I hadn't even gone into the Trello card and Leah had already went and was like, no, that box has been checked. And I was like, oh snap. That made me like get on my game, you know.
Yeah.
Because this is, you know, so I had to literally pick a weeknight to say this is my volunteer night. I want to look, I want to see what's going on. So that has been a planning process for this gala, literally because of the technical capabilities of everybody on the squad is
Yeah.
just fantastic. And it makes it so much easier.
Yeah, no, I agree. And I definitely agree with the people will drop off. You know, I know that from just planning other conferences with you. Like
Mhm.
people will be like, "Yes, I'm gung ho. We're gonna do it." And then, 90 days in, it's like, "Yep, I got other things to do." And then and they just don't show up. So I agree with you on that. And I think too, because this is my first event, one of the things I've had to learn is like that's not a reflection of my leadership. That's just people,
Right.
right? Because
That's
I
right.
think
That's right.
sometimes you will take that in as like, oh man, what am I doing wrong as a leader? And I've had to have, those conversations with you and other people on the team that's like, that don't got nothing to do with you. That has everything to do with them. So that I love that. And I think the motivational Monday really came as me just trying to be a really good leader, right? And really be able
Wow.
to like share with everybody, hey, this is what's going on. Yes, we're months away, but I want to keep y'all updated. Like for me, I could easily be like, this is Leah's event, but for me, it's our event. So, like, that is what it
Mm.
comes from. It's like, I'm not taking all the spotlight. I'm not sharing all the credit because when I get up there in October, it's going to be to all my team. If you're in my team, stand up. Like, everybody's going to get the applause because I didn't pull this off by myself. And I think that was my mindset is like, okay, how do I keep my team motivated? How do I keep everybody like, hey, this is where we're at. This is what we got going on. But also being honest and be like, hey, we need more donors. We need more sponsors. This is what's going on at the same time. So that has stretched me as a leader. And so I
Mm.
think those two things for sure were like really good moments too. And the fact that, like you said, everybody, I think what was beautiful is that God hand selected my team. Cause I was like, when he told me to do it, I was like, all right, sir. So like I can't do it by myself. So you need to
Right.
you need to give me a team, right? And I think with the Trello and all of that, I think that first of all, that was Toya's idea. So I can't take credit. You gotta
Yeah.
shout her out for that.
Yeah, she did that.
But I think it was just easy to assign people based on their strengths and what they're good at. Like I knew you to be a good
Mm.
event planner. So I was like, all right, event planner. You know what I mean? Like I know Toya is a creative genius. Like she's just really good at branding. Here, this
Amazing.
is your job. So I think that's what was so easy about this group was that I knew everybody's strengths and I made sure
Yeah.
that whatever task I gave them based on their strengths by also wanting to know their weaknesses. So I knew, okay, if I needed to give an extra touch point, if I needed to be like, hey, Alexis, did you check the Trello board? Like that I could do because
Right.
I know those things. So yeah, I think that's why it's been going so good so far. So my other
Mhm.
question for you is because we're focusing on sexual violence, do you
Mhm.
ever feel like that purpose kind of shaped your approach to this event?
Oh yeah. Yeah. That's definitely I mean, it wouldn't have mattered what event you were throwing. I would have been trying to figure out how to, be there, participate, because it's you and wanting to, build that relationship.
Yeah.
But definitely because it is focused on sexual violence. And I have been prompted, by my father several times, like, you gotta get it out there. That really helped because I literally shared my story for the first time,
Yeah.
tidbits of it, with my business colleagues, those in the marketplace. And I have received some very encouraging words. And, I'm pushing more to be like, hey, let's, okay, thank you, but can you
Yeah.
just donate? Got my little $20.25 thing going on. Like, it's 2025. Just donate 2025 to the cause. And
Yeah.
I think I have a big enough network that if all of them did, then we wouldn't have to, worry about anything.
Hmm.
And so that definitely did make a difference. It really helped because I am really looking forward to it. And I'm
Yeah.
very, very blessed that my husband is like, he's already, I was like, I got your ticket already. He's like, okay, I'm ready. So
I love that. No, seriously. And I think that's the beauty in all of this too, is like realizing that we all got a network, we all got connections, we can all pull on our connections, And I know for me, God has been showing me like, hey, I'm orchestrating things behind the scenes. Like, you don't stress out, right? Because it's easy to be like, oh my God, where is this money coming from? Like, what is happening here? Right. And then usually when I feel that way, then I get an alert like someone brought a ticket or somebody, so it's those moments where God just be like, I would never give you a vision and not give you the provision for it. Like,
that's
never.
right.
Like, that's how you
Yeah.
know it's me, because every time you freak out, somebody shows up and it's like, oh, I got a ticket. Oh, I got this. So I definitely think that this is just going to be a space for me. I wanted to create this event because for me personally, I didn't have community when it was me. I didn't, nobody
Mm,
believed me. Being a Black woman in America, that's the first thing. It's like you're the most least credible.
yeah.
So for me, it was like, I want to give a night to survivors, one night where they can feel seen, where they can feel heard, where they can feel like
Hmm.
they have community. Like, that's my hope, is that everybody that shows up walks away connected to somebody so that they don't have to keep going through
Mm.
this journey by themselves, because they'll see I have community. Like, I have someone I could call. I have a group of people that I can reach out to, and I don't have to go through that, because I know for me, that's how I struggled in the early parts of my healing journey, because the devil was like, oh, you by yourself on this. Like, he played on the fact that I was isolated. And so it
Ooh,
definitely messed me up for a long time. And so now I'm like, no, I want to create a space where survivors feel seen, they feel heard, and they have community so they don't have to go through it by themselves. So I love that.
wow.
Okay, so my other question for you is, why do you believe that events like this one, where we're talking about survivors, we're talking about sexual violence, is so important?
Mhm. Mm, because it's in the dark. So, and I say that because I mean, and it's not the only thing. There's a lot of things, but this one right here, just st- statistics,
Mm-hmm.
it's people are violated by somebody that they know
Yeah.
majority of the time. So, and there are people who have never gone through this still think that the person is hiding in the alley,
Yeah.
you know. They still think that. So when you have an event like this, you actually shine the light on the fact that, nah, it ain't the person in the alley. It's a brother, it's an
Mm-hmm.
uncle, it's a
Yeah.
sister, it's the babysitter,
Mm-hmm.
it's those kind of things. And just to share, my middle sister was the one, she just didn't think those kind of things happen.
Yeah.
In my story, when I told my mother didn't believe, well, let me say, she didn't want to believe me. So my
Yeah.
perpetrator was still in the house when I woke up the next day. Um, but and that's because that's when I learned, like 2 years after that, that her perpetrator was her father. So now you
Yeah.
have my grandfather, which I, found out maybe about a month or so before he passed, this has been going on, was a perpetrator. Because so that's why people just these events are important to let you know it could happen in your household, you
Yeah.
know, and people are just some people just really trusting, like, nah, it won't ever happen to me. And no, I don't want it to happen to anybody
Yeah.
ever again. I'm with you, Lee. I think this is a time to have these events like this so that the more you bring it to light, prayerfully, the less it will happen.
Yeah. Yeah. Hmm.
So it's kind of like you can't stop it. We're not going to stop somebody from stealing a honey bun from 7-Eleven, but you might have less people doing this because of their fear of getting caught, or fear of
Yeah.
repercussions, or fear of consequences. But the less we talk about it, the more is going to happen.
Yep.
So the more we talk about it and shine a light, the gala shines, events like this shine a brighter light
Yeah.
to it, and it shines it locally.
Hmm.
That's the important thing. Yes, we would love to reach people over in California, but I tell you, it could be somebody in my 200 townhouse community that this is happening right now.
Yeah.
You
Yeah,
know,
no,
so it's
I
very
agree
important.
with you 1,000%. I think that I think it's silence that breeds abuse, right? Like when we
Yes.
continue to be very silent about these things, when we continue to
Mhm.
not shine the light, when we continue to believe like it's the boogeyman or the person in the
Right.
white van, like when
Ah.
I hear that stuff, I'd be like, it's 2025, people. Like, why do we still believe this lie? Right? Like when we still do that, it breeds abuse, which is exactly what perpetrators want. Like
Yeah,
they thrive in the silence, because as long as they can keep victims silent, nobody will ever find out what they're doing, And I think
exactly.
that's why this event is even more important, because like you said, locally, we're going to keep having
Mhm.
this conversation. And the beautiful thing about this event too is like it's not even just it's we have people that have registered that are local, but we have people coming from other states that are traveling
Yeah.
for this
Yeah.
event, because again, it's calling out to all survivors, but not just survivors. It's calling out to community members, it's calling out to
Right.
loved ones, allies, so that way they can know how to best support the people in their lives, because the statistics don't lie. Like 1 in 6 men, get sexually assaulted. 1 in 5 women get sexually
Yeah.
assaulted. Like the statistics don't lie. And so I always tell people, for every 5 women, one of them is a survivor. For every 6 men,
Mhm.
one of them is a survivor. And so
Right.
I think that's why this is so important. So let's
Mhm.
give the
Mhm.
people a little sneak peek. Is there any element to the gala that you are like the most excited about? We gotta give them a little sneak peek. What is one thing that you're like, oh, I can't wait to see how that goes down?
The panel.
Mm,
Because and the reason why I say that is because the conference that we worked on before, there was
yeah,
a panel and I missed it. And then it was a panel last year, and I missed it.
yeah,
And I keep hearing these great reviews of the panel and the strength of these women,
mm-hmm,
um, women and men, and that the courage that people would have to sit and tell their stories
yeah,
is fascinating to me. So I am truly looking forward to that. To have a keynote speaker is fantastic and is great. And because we all know there's someone that can tell, their
yeah,
story in an impactful way. But to have a group, then it's
mm-hmm,
like, oh, it is more than one person.
yeah,
Now you have people in the audience, like they're not just seeing one person and then it's over. It's like, oh, no, 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 no. It's this group that's going to tell you
mm-hmm,
stories,
yeah,
share their healing stories, share, the impact they had on their lives. So it tells them that. So that really, because I'm finally going to
yeah.
see one
Yeah. No,
to watch them.
yeah, I'm excited about it's funny because originally it was just gonna be one survivor story, and then God dropped it in my spirit. He said, no, you'll do more powerful with multiple people up there. And so I was like, well, I know a bunch of survivors. Like I could pull and see who will say yes to some things. And so it just happened to work out. And I think what's even beautiful about it, this is why y'all gotta get y'all tickets and come, is how
Yes.
intergenerational is. Like I didn't set it up like that, but that's how it ended up
Yes.
being set up. Like, so you'll hear from multiple generations. And I think
Mhm.
having an MC who's a survivor who will also moderate just adds that extra layer. So it really is becoming an event for survivors by survivors. Like
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
really is. And I think that's what makes this event so unique. And I love it.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me add the one thing. If you are a survivor, you should not miss this event.
For sure.
If you are in the DMV area, just get your ticket. You can look. Leah even set up a payment plan. You ain't
Listen,
even got payment. We trying to just get you in there because we
trying to
want you
help
to
the
know
people
that
out.
you yeah, we want you to know that you're loved, that you're
Yeah.
supported, that there are people out there caring for you, that your healing journey, you are not alone. You got to be
Yeah.
there.
No,
Yes.
for sure. I 1,000% agree with you on that. Like, I think that if you're a survivor and you know you need community, definitely come to the gala. Like, you're
Mhm.
not gonna walk out. I know that you're not gonna walk out alone and still in the same
Nope.
position. It's way too many people that's going to be in that room that's ready to love on you. And I was
Mhm.
very, very intentional about creating safe space. That's why we had the comfort room. That's why we got
Yeah.
licensed therapists on the team that's going to be survivor support. Like,
Mhm.
I am huge about, nah, we're not re-traumatizing nobody, not on my watch. Like,
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
I put all the parameters in place. Like, I was like, look, you need to come up with a criteria on what they need to say, not say check in with them mentally and emotionally. Like, I'm very big on that because I don't care how many times you tell your story. There can still be
Right.
moments where you get re-traumatized and re-triggered.
Yep.
People have asked me that. Like, you tell your story all the time, Leah. Do you not ever get re-traumatized? And I'm like, no, I get triggered by the stupidity of people. That's what triggers me these days, not telling my story. Hearing the stuff that people say triggers me. So I 1,000% agree. Get your ticket. So, sis, as we wrap up, because this has been a great
Yep.
conversation, please tell the people where can they find you? How can they connect with you? Talk to them.
Yes, you can reach out to us. Our website is alexiswyndhamgroup.com. You can email me at alexis@alexiswyndhamgroup.com. We are also up on LinkedIn, and you will find us there at Alexis Wyndham Group on the LinkedIn page. But yes, that's where we are. We don't have a lot of Instagram, Facebook, and all that stuff. Our clients are literally LinkedIn clients. So
I
that is
love
the
it.
best place to reach out to it. You can send a message to Alexis Cook or to my partner, Mary Wyndham. And we just hope to hear from you. But we definitely want you to come to the gala.
Yes, definitely come to the
Yes.
gala. And y'all, listen, if y'all are looking for an event planner, logistics team, listen, Alexis Wyndham Group, like hands down. Listen, I'm biased over here. I don't care what nobody say. They can feel what they feel. I'm hands down the best team ever. Y'all make sure y'all hit my girl up. So thank y'all for tuning
Mhm.
in. And thank you, sis, for being the first to be interviewed in our new series on the women behind the Courage Couture Gala. I appreciate all that you are doing to help pull this gala off.
Thank you, sis. Love you so much.
Love you more.